Last year, I decided to try a new type of podcast, at least for me. It was a voice memos podcast where wherever I was, whatever I was doing, if the inspiration struck, I would record a short, let's say 5 to 7 minute episode. I started doing it when I went to a conference last year to record some of my thoughts and the things I was learning, and it's something I really enjoyed. And I've been thinking more about why you might want to record on the go, why you might want to have a mobile podcasting setup. And that's what we are going to talk about today. Hey everybody, my name's Joe Casabona. I am the evangelist here at RSS.com, and we love podcasts in all shapes and sizes. But today I want to tell you why you might consider doing a podcast on the go. Now, there are lots of reasons why you might want to record a podcast on the go. I liked the audio notes because it was a less processed, more real and relatable type of content. You think about the like the thought leader content where we have setups like this versus the influencer content where people are just recording a quick video from their phone, and there is a place for both of those. And so I wanted to try that. But you also might want to record if you're at a conference or an event where you want to do live interviews or recaps with the crowd noise in the background. Maybe you do some sort of networking event where podcasting is a part of it. If you are traveling and you want to capture your real time experiences, or again, do an interview on location, I have a friend, Jeff, who had a whole podcast focused on recording in the outdoors. Breaking news, right? If we look at sports podcasters or political podcasters, they will feel like they need to record where they happen to be, whether that's a hotel room or some even have recorded a show from in the car. And if you don't have the right equipment for that, then your podcast is going to sound pretty bad. Here's what we're going to get into for the rest of the video, right? We went through why, and we'll talk about kind of mobile recorders and apps, portable microphones, the hosting, of course. The first time I tried to record a mobile podcast, it was a whole production. I had a giant recorder and an XLR cable and like an old-timey looking reporter microphone. I had to have headphones in because I wanted to make sure that I was actually capturing and hoping that the memory card, the SD card, was capturing it properly. And then I'd have to take all of that back to my laptop to edit and produce and cut together. And it doesn't have to be like that anymore. So we're going to get into, like I said, the mobile recorders and apps, some portable microphones. We'll talk about how you can upload directly to your hosting quite easily. And then we'll just rediscuss the overall plan. So let's get into the mobile recorders and apps. Okay, so you can see on the screen here that I have some gear and things ready to go. Now, the Zoom H5 Handy Recorder is a super portable recording device that can also act as a USB interface for your laptop. So this is something that I like to use if I have my laptop and I don't want to lug around like the Rode Procaster or something like that. The Zoom H5 plugs into your computer and can be used as an interface where it records to a memory card, but it also will pass through that recording to your computer. It accepts 4 microphones. You can see right here that there are 2 microphones. You can get an adapter so that you can plug 2 other microphones in there, but there are also just 2 separate XLR inputs on the bottom here, and you can control each one of those. This is the device that I used the first time I tried recording mobily, and it was great, but it was still clunky. And the honest truth is that there is a lot to be said for just being able to work, record, and edit directly from your phone. One of my favorite apps is the Whisper Memos app for iPhone or iOS. You can talk right into your phone, a transcript is generated, and you can save that audio directly to your phone. So I really like this because I'm getting a 2 for 1, right? I'm getting the transcript, and I'm getting the recording. Now you can just use voice memos, right? iOS also generates a transcript for you, but you also don't need the transcript if you use rss.com because rss.com generates the transcript for you as well. So, truth be told, I really like Whisper Memos. I use it more for idea capture than anything else. You can use the voice recording app on your phone. And if we talk about editing, right? Because I mean, you're probably thinking, yeah, Joe, the recording part is not the hard part for the phone, right? The recording apps have come a long way, but what about the editing? Well, there are a couple of really great apps for mobile devices where you can do editing. Ferrite Recording Studio is an incredible recording and editing app for iPhone and iOS. I know hardcore podcasters who can reasonably edit their episodes from their phone or their iPad using Ferrite. Now, if you are on Android, there's Auphonic Edit. This is, again, a really great recording and editing app for Android. So there are lots of options there for recording and editing. Now, again, if we look at the scope of my mobile podcast, I'm really not editing. This is me capturing thoughts in the moment as quickly as possible and just kind of thinking through things as they come to me, assuming I'm in a situation where I can record. And we'll talk about like environment and when a little bit later, but I wasn't planning on doing a lot of content editing or really editing for sound either. I want that kind of like environmental noise sound for like the ambiance of the show. But I didn't want to sound like I was recording inside of a tin can. And so a good microphone is important for this, right? You could use the built-in microphone, and there are apps like Adobe Podcast and Descript that will clean up that audio for you. Still, the best way to capture good, clean audio is with a good microphone. And there are a lot of options to plug directly into your phone these days. So let's actually look at a couple of here. My personal favorite and the one that I have and use all the time, I always have it handy, is the DJI mic. It can come in one or two. You can buy one or two. There's a receiver that plugs directly into your phone and has a number of different inserts depending on the one that you need for your phone. So there's USB-C, there's Lightning, and there's a couple of others. But this is a really good, solid mobile microphone. It has a clip on the back, and then there's also a magnet where you can just kind of clip it to your shirt if you don't have a good place to clip it, right? So you can use a magnet to stick it to your shirt, or you can clip it wherever works best for you. And like I said, this is the receiver right here. Really small, unobtrusive device, works with most cases as well, which is cool. So you can buy this as one microphone or two. It's really affordable, and it's a great way to record fantastic audio directly from your phone. The short form videos that you see me do for rss.com, they are recorded using the DJI microphone. Now, more recently, Rode came out with the Rode Wireless Micro, a compact wireless microphone, two mics and a charging case, at a much more affordable. I shouldn't say much more, but it's a more affordable price than the DJI microphone. You do need to select the style here, and I haven't used this, so I haven't been able to compare with the DJI mic. But Rode, always known for making really good stuff. So I would say that you can trust their hardware here. So if you're looking for something more affordable to try out and you want two microphones, the Rode Wireless Micro might be for you. Now, if you still do want a solid microphone to talk into, even if you are plugged in to your phone, the Audio Technica ATR 2100 or the Shure MV7 are both really good. If you want to level up and take something bigger with you, the Shure MV7 is good. But the whole point of this setup is to be as portable as possible, right? So, yes, you can get a full size microphone and plug it into your phone. But the DJI microphone and the Rode microphones, those both fit in your pocket and they're not going to take up space uh, in your luggage or in your bag or anything like that. So I would strongly recommend one of those. The audio quality is really good and they are compact. They record directly to the phone. Processing the audio file, this is another reason I like having the transcript generated on the fly is I could take that transcript, put it into some AI assistant like ChatGPT and get a short description, right? And again, for my podcast, that's fine, right? Just a quick summary of what you're going to listen to. It's a 5-minute episode, but if you're doing more higher production out in the wild, mobily or at an event or while you're traveling, ChatGPT is still a really good tool to come up with show notes quickly while you're on the go. So I'm a big fan of that. One of the reasons that I want to get the transcript on the fly, which is why I use the apps that I mentioned. But when it comes to actually publishing, you might feel like, oh, I can't do that from my phone. But rest assured, with RSS.com, we have a completely mobile friendly website. So you can log into your dashboard, click new, and then episode, and then you're brought to the new episode page where you can upload audio directly from your phone. So if I have something here, I can upload it. I can put in the details, which working from the ChatGPT mobile app has been really helpful here because I don't need to do a whole lot of typing from my phone. And then you can publish it all from the mobile friendly dashboard here. So that's another really important aspect of if you're going to record either from your phone or mobily, right? Maybe you don't have Wi Fi wherever you are and you need to use a cellular connection. Maybe you don't want to use a hotspot. You can use your phone, and with RSS.com, our dashboard is completely mobile friendly, so you will have no problem uploading there. So, if we review our outline really quick, we talked about why you might want to record on the go. We talked about mobile recorders and apps. We talked about portable microphones. You're going to want to host someplace good. We, of course, recommend RSS.com. So let's come up with a plan for recording. So when you're recording on the go, you have your gear. Let's say you're going to record from your phone and you have the DJI microphone. You want to make sure that you still are recording from a reasonably quiet environment, right? Whenever I record on the go, I'm not recording from like the expo floor of a conference. I'm finding a quiet corner or I am doing a recap when I get back to my hotel room. You want to find a quiet space and, something with soft surfaces like curtains and carpets to reduce echo. If you are recording outdoors using something like a windscreen like this or a pop filter can help minimize unwanted noise from the wind. With the mics I mentioned, you can also turn down the gain. So if you are recording from the expo floor, you can make it so that your mic isn't picking up as much environmental noise. Now, good mic technique is also really important here. If you hold your microphone far away, it is going to pick up more and it's not going to pick you up as well. So that's why the flexibility of the magnet is really good here because you can kind of clip it reasonably close, or you can kind of hold it if you don't want to be seen holding a microphone and obscure it with your hand a little bit. But you can find good placement. I'm looking at the monitor to make sure that you can see where I might be placing it. So you can find good placement for recording. And then on the actual monitoring device, you can see how well you're being picked up. Now, you should also monitor your recording in real time, right? The nice thing about the DJI mic is that it's got the headphones as well. So you can plug headphones into it and you can hear how you sound in real time. That way you can catch issues early instead of listening back later when you can't possibly recapture that same exact moment and realize that you didn't get a good recording. So I would strongly recommend that. And then finally, file storage, right? If you have a newer phone, you probably have a ton of storage, but you can also use an SD card, right? There are some really cool attachments, at least for the iPhone, that you can you can compactly stick a SSD card onto the phone or into the phone and record directly to that. And of course, you can use services like iCloud, Google Drive, or Dropbox to make those files accessible from anywhere. So, hopefully, you have some great ideas on how you can reasonably record on the go, either from a conference or when you're traveling, or just when inspiration strikes you. The best thing about podcasting is that it allows us as podcasters to connect to our listeners and vice versa. And when you can deliver real raw content that way, if you're looking for a different format to experiment with, something like this where you're recording on the go can offer a new avenue for your audience to connect with you. And when you are ready to upload that podcast, check out RSS.com. RSS.com offers amazing features at competitive prices like free transcription for anybody on our paid plans, the ability to generate a YouTube video that's more engaging than just your cover art and the audio behind it. We have lots of ways for you to make money through donations or value for value. And like I said, we also have a mobile friendly version of our dashboard so you can upload your episode whenever and wherever you are in the world. If you want to learn more about RSS.com, or if you're on a different host and you're thinking about switching, head on over to RSS.com/switch because we will give you 6 free months of hosting for switching to us. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you out there.